Hello everybody. In this video, we will try to focus on current transit of Jupiter. So basically, Jupiter is transiting in the sign of Aries, and Aries is a signaling of creation of something new because Aries is the first sign, and the sign Aries consisting of the nakshatras Ashwini 4 padas, Bharani 4 padas, and Kritika first pada. In ancient times, Kritika was treated as the first nakshatra in the whole nakshatra system. So, of course, now Ashwini is treated as the first nakshatra. So, as a whole, you can consider this Aries area, the area of Aries is basically representing the new energy, the fresh energy. So as Jupiter is coming into the Aries, you can expect a new energy can be born. The Jupiter itself is called as the Jiva Karaka in the Vedic Jyotish literature. But the problem here is this particular Jupiter is under trouble. So Jupiter, how this Jupiter is under trouble in the upcoming days. So if you observe the trouble, of course, currently also it is in the trouble, but the trouble is going to be much more enhanced in the upcoming days. So when that increasing of trouble would happen, we will check that. So if you see the time, that is 16th August, that is the time. 16th August 2023 onwards, this trouble is going to increase more and more. Why? I will tell you. And this particular trouble, you can see till the date, it's around this particular trouble, we can see till 1st October till 30th September basically, right? So 16th August 2023 to 30th September 2023. This is the more troubling period for Jupiter. Why? It's because, see, currently the Jupiter, even today, right, it's happening for for so many days, right? I think for the past from June itself, it happened more severely because Rahu, Jupiter, they are coming closer, right? Especially during June, we also made a video. Now, this Jupiter is captured by Rahu. So when Rahu captures Jupiter, it indicates drying up of resources because Jupiter is the indication of resources. Jupiter is the most auspicious planet in mundane astrology in predicting the world events. Jupiter is considered as a savior in mundane astrology. So this particular Jupiter, which is actually creating some new energy by sitting in the sign of Aries, but this energy is becoming malefic because it is captured by Rahu, and even more, it is watched by Saturn with its third aspect. And from 16th August 2023 onwards, this particular Jupiter will also be aspected by Mars with its 8th aspect. That is the most dangerous thing because Mars 8th aspect indicates death kind of energy. Because in the natural Kalapurush Kundali, if you observe, Aries is the sign is for Aries the owner is Mars, and even more for Scorpio also the owner is Mars. So Aries is the indication of creation, and Scorpio, the eighth house, which is eighth house generally indicates death, right? So the creation, for creation and also for death, the same owner is proposed, right, in the Kala Purush Kundali if you observe. Because Mars is the force. When something has to happen, some creation or some destruction have to happen, then it requires lot of strength, lot of energy, lot of power. So Mars is that power, right? That's why both Aries and Scorpio, which are indicating the creation or the beginning, and also Scorpio is the ending or the death energy, owned by Mars. So Mars's eighth aspect is generally it represents a death kind of energy. So this particular Mars is watching Jupiter. Jupiter is a creation, but this Jupiter, as it is captured by Rahu and also watched by Saturn with its third aspect, it is indicating some malefic energy creation. And even more, this malefic energy is much more enhanced when you observe Mars is watching Jupiter with its eighth aspect. So Mars is also going to watch Rahu with its eighth aspect. So the whole thing, the whole energy creation is becoming malefic, which is actually creating a lot of burden on Jupiter, right? Which is actually creating more burden on Jupiter. What is Jupiter basically? Why Jupiter's this kind of situation is very much important for the world? Because Jupiter represents a financial condition of the world. That is the first thing that Jupiter represents in mundane astrology in predicting the world events. Jupiter is finance. That's it. That is the first thing. So this financial crisis that the world is experiencing. And one more thing is, this particular Jupiter is already on the Rahu Ketu axis. So whenever a planet is on Rahu Ketu axis, a planet is called as an afflicted planet. So afflicted planet reduces its strength. The strength of an afflicted planet is reduced basically, right? So, or some abnormality is present. It's not always reduced. It can be a kind of abnormal, So the Jupiter's energy here is abnormal because it is on the Rahu Ketu axis. That is the first thing. Then this particular Jupiter is watched by Saturn with its third aspect. So Saturn's third aspect is called as malefic. It's called as malefic. Saturn can be positive or negative. That's a different thing. That's a different phenomenon. Because as Saturn is sitting in Aquarius, so it is helping the world to improve in its technological advancements, right? That's why you can see in the news, ISRO is just launching so many, the PSLV-3 or Chandrayaan-3 or whatever, right? These are all advancements. Even somewhere you can see during this period, whenever Saturn comes to Aquarius, all around the world, you would see a lot of development in the technological aspects, right? So even technology, the AI or whatever you're seeing all around the news, the technological improvements, right? So Saturn is sitting in Aquarius, so that is one of the positive things for technology. You may see by so Saturn will stay in Aquarius till March 2025. So till March 2025 you would see a lot of advancement in technology. It can lead to a completely brand new world also even, right? So that is one thing, and that is also indicated by Jupiter sitting in Aries, right? As Jupiter, of course, it is captured by Rahu, also watched by Saturn and Mars, but still it has its own dignity to an extent. So that's where the new energy in the technology, right, is coming into the picture. So that is one important thing. Even more, when Saturn comes to Aquarius, it tries to correct the correct the karmic relations or karmic balances that have for individuals also. Even the transit, it's something like you have some gaps in your academic knowledge or your professional knowledge. So Saturn will try to try to pinch you or try to signal you that this is where you're lagging. Saturn can do that with the help of your manager or your boss or your higher authorities, right? With them means they would indicate you, they would signal you, this is where you're lagging, you have to fill this gap. So this kind of indications, whether you're working as a professor or if you're working as a vegetable seller, right, someone would tell the vegetable seller, some customer, so this is the way you're maintaining your daily business, but it's better you maintain this way. Then it's a kind of correction, right? Saturn coming to Aquarius is an indication of correcting something, right? So these are all some positive things when Saturn comes to Aquarius. But positive things are very good. They no need to they give some enough strength for the world, that's for sure. But the world has to take care. It has to put more efforts in preventing the bad things that are going to happen, right? That's why in most of the astrology videos, wherever you find, they would only tell the negative things that may happen for the world, because positive things, no need to prevent, no need to take much care of them. They are going to happen and they are going to serve the humanity. They are always there. But what have to be prevented is, it's actually what have to be prevented are the negative things, right? That's why so many astrologers generally tell the negative things, so that at least some governments, right, would consider and try to prevent them, or at least the people will turn towards spirituality, the devotion, right? So that, see, this kind of imbalance of this kind of energy, right, would be present in your personal lives also. The kind of emotions, the kind of aggression you may have in your personal life, that may disturb you more and more. So if this kind of energy is indicating, settle down, calm down, right? Don't be aggressive, right? Be very calm, whatever may be the situation, right? Better you calm down, don't be aggressive. Whoever makes the mistake, whether the mistake is with the other person or with you, it doesn't matter, right? You stay calm, you don't be aggressive, you be very cool, very calm, so that situations will pass, good times will come. So this kind of signaling, this kind of indication the planets are actually giving. So calm down is the main suggestion for anybody during this particular period, because Jupiter is under severe pressure. The pressure, I think Jupiter may not experience this kind of pressure in future this much, but it might have not experienced this previously also, even if you observe, because Jupiter is completely captured. So Jupiter also indicates, as it is noted as Jiva Karaka, it is an indication of population growth, but this malefic energy is killing that population growth. So you may see some population is going down, some countries are disappeared. You may find this kind of events from 16th August 2023 to 30th September 2023. Disappearing in the sense the people may suffer a lot. It's something like it's a kind of negative energy only, right? It is not a good idea to threaten that so many people would die or something like that, but governments or the people who are really responsible, the leaders who are really responsible for their people, they have to take precautions. They have to they have to take some preventive measures, right, for the betterment of the society and for the betterment of the humanity. That is very important here, because when Jupiter is clearly under pressure, the financial crisis you would see is very high. That is the first thing. And the second thing is population growth population degrowth. I may use the term degrowth. It may not be, I don't know it is present or not, but population reduction, right, is another thing I can say. That is one important thing. Another one is Jupiter basically represents the educational institutions. So you may see a lot of changes in educational institutions, and so many old educational buildings would be collapsed, or there is something related to educational buildings. Remember, Jupiter doesn't indicate education, but it indicates educational institutions, the auspiciousness, the aura of that educational institutions. Education is actually represented by Mercury, but the educational institution, right, the aura, that is actually represented by Jupiter. So this kind of energy, which is the Rahu, the three planets, even Ketu, because Ketu is aspecting Jupiter with its 7th aspect, as Jupiter is on the Rahu Ketu axis, right? So that is one thing: a population reduction, a very big financial crisis, and you can already see the kind of food prices rising. They started rising when Rahu and Jupiter came very closer in the month of June, right? It started. And of course, previously also, just before a few months, for the past 6 months or 7 months, if you observe the transit, Rahu Jupiter were closer only, but they came much more closer in the Jupiter in the month of June and then July also, right? That's where you would see the prices increasing high, sky high, you can say. When in India, somewhere tomato price is around 200 rupees per kg. And generally, poor people, whenever they want to eat some food, they buy tomato, because tomato costs around 10 rupees or 5 rupees, sometimes 20 rupees, 15 rupees. It's around 10 rupees on the average in India generally, but now it is 200 rupees somewhere. Generally, on a general note, it is 180 rupees, right? Somewhere it is 170, but not below 160 at least now, right? The minimum price is 160 and the maximum is 200, and the minimum and maximum may move to some more higher rate in the coming future also, in the coming days, right? It may not stay there for a long time. It happens every time in India, the fluctuation in the in the prices of tomato, onion, this happens, but this time the kind of high it has seen is very, very high. It's more than the expectation. That's one important observation here. Now, and what about Jupiter? Jupiter indicates higher learning, the wisdom, and you can observe as Ketu is in the sign of Libra, which is indicating the relationship among the countries, among the world leaders, right, is disturbed, and this is going to disturb, this Jupiter affliction also disturbs the world leaders' wisdom. So they may take very, very wrong decisions during this period, 16th August 2023 to 30th September 2023, all around the world leaders would take bad decisions. The decisions that may throw them out of their throne, or it also indicates some world leader resigning, or something he are suffering a lot, because Jupiter is the backbone of any government anywhere in the world, right? So that is one important observation. See, whenever something bad happens in the current transits, at least we see how is the Jupiter, what is the dignity of Jupiter. If Jupiter is fine, at least okay, even the remaining things are bad, Jupiter is going to save here, right? But Jupiter itself is under the trouble, so it can clearly indicate a troubling thing for the world leaders and for the governments all over the world. So, and what else Jupiter can represent? Jupiter is actually, it represents a fat people all around the world also. People who are a bit fat. So they also have to take care, right? So this is the indication. And Jupiter indicates the richest people in the world. And richest people in the world will suffer. Of course, if one richest person, right, goes down, the another richest person comes up, but the already existing richest people would suffer because of this kind of Jupiter, because Jupiter is the representation of richest people. And the religion, Jupiter is religion. So religious riots, right? When Rahu and Jupiter came closer and Saturn is watching, just imagine all around the world, so many religious riots started. Because of religion, the communal riots or the kind of quarrels, right, increased all around the world. Just see the transit. The Jupiter and Rahu coming closer is one thing, and another thing is it's watched by Saturn, so enhancing this kind of riots. And then Mars, which is a kind of war planet, is actually going to watch this whole thing, whole energy from 16th August 2023 to 30th September 2023. So the riots may lead to a kind of war. This can be predicted very easily because Mars is involving, and also it is watching this Rahu-Jupiter combination with its 8th aspect, and 8th aspect indicates the deadly thing. It's a kind of death, it's a kind of severe pressure. So the communal riots based on religion happening all over the world, right? Based on religion or based on caste or creed, whatever happening all around the world, they may lead to a kind of war situation. It's very, very important observation here, because the dots are clearly connecting this kind of words that we're speaking now, right? So it's happening. It's you're clearly seeing, in your own country, in your own place, right? When the moment Rahu Jupiter came, religion became a kind of malefic thing to create riots, and Saturn is also watching this time. It's completely giving a kind of new energy, new malefic energy creation. That's where the Manipur riots happening in India, right? That's where even the recent Haryana riots or whatever all around the world, somewhere in Sweden based on religion, right? There was a quarrel, and in France, just imagine the planetary energies are manifesting their energies, and you're seeing the events happening around you. This is not a magic. This is just the energy manifestation, nothing else. And this particular energy creation which is happening, the malefic energy creation, it's a completely new energy creation, isn't it? It didn't happen previously, but it is happening as this Rahu-Jupiter combination is watched by Saturn. And 16th August onwards, this whole combination, this Rahu-Jupiter combination, is also going to be watched by Mars. That is a very, very important observation. You know, it cannot be ignorable. So that is one important thing. The Jupiter is religion. Which planet represents religion? Jupiter. Right? Because it's the lord of the natural 9th house, Sagittarius. And 9th house is religion, religious rules. So this indicates a breaking up of religious rules also somewhere. The rules written in the religious books are going to be, broken somewhere. The temples, the churches, the mass, wherever you see, the kind of energy here is somewhere it's creating, problems in these areas. All the religious places are indicated by Jupiter. Religious institutions are indicated by Jupiter. So it's clearly indicating a kind of problem in all these places. And famous religious gurus, any religious guru, can be priest or whoever, represented by Jupiter, they are also going to get some problems because of the situation. So all the Jupiter things have to be taken care, and actually the government should try to do something, and people should turn towards spirituality. They should calm down, whatever may be the situation. So thanks for watching this video.